For the past 25 years, everyone's favorite 10-year-old Pokemon master finally hit his time skip puberty and is no longer the main character in a mainline Pokemon series. But what if he still was? What sort of Pokemon would make it on Ash Ketchum's team? Well, after analyzing all the data I could find on how he picks his Pokemon for his team, which Pokemon actually end up evolving, and which ones reflect his personality the best, I think these Paldean Pokemon would find themselves a comfortable home on Ash's team, or at least maybe Oak's lab. Starting with his early bug-type companion, we have two really solid options, Ronchula and Nimble, and while both of these can work, I really think Nimble's evolution Low-Kicks is more in line with Ash as a team member. He's got style, grace, and antennas that come out of his face, so I think he fits really nicely. Plus the fact that Low-Kicks gives me massive vigilante vibes, and I can imagine that when Ash isn't paying attention to Low-Kicks, which let's be honest, he almost never pays attention to any of his Pokemon, Low-Kicks would be out fighting crime, or at least maybe Team Rocket or something. Next Pokemon I think Ash would catch would be a Squawk ability, but it's not what you think. Our boy is known for pretty much rescuing and adopting Pokemon for a short time, and I think that would be the case with Squawk ability. Ash would catch a variant, maybe the green one, let's just say, raise it, and then eventually help it find its other family members before releasing it to them. Kind of completing the set of variants, if you will. Only after that bird secures him a few badges along the way. What you think, Ash was doing this out of the kindness of his heart? Nah, he's a calculated menace. Plus, I think Squawk ability could use a bit more love. It's currently getting none. Okay, now let's talk about some powerhouses I think would be on Ash's team. And the first and foremost, it would be the Knackley line. He would obviously start off with a little rock salt that could, and slowly evolve it throughout his journey into a fully evolved Jorgensaw. And this Pokemon would be a absolute staple on Ash's team. I'm talking fighting the Elite Four with this guy, and honestly, probably a fan favorite. Let's be honest here. This thing is amazing. I don't know how many Pokemon enthusiasts out there don't actually like this salty mon. Well, except maybe for these guys. Another powerhouse would be Charcadet and its evolution, to kind of mirror Ash's Lucario spot. However, this is where we run into our first hurdle. How do we pick which evolution would fit Ash the best? Well, at first, I was really drawn to Ceruledge. The color scheme and its overall personality really seems to fit. However, I didn't want to crowd the team with ghost types. More on that to come. So I think Armarouge would make the most sense. Plus, it's known for its incredible loyalty, which is something very familiar about Ash's own persona. Now, speaking of ghost types, this next one wouldn't really be a new Pokemon, but instead I believe Ash would in some way get in contact with his old Primeape, and with its new evolution in Paldea would give Ash an Annihilate. But the way this happens would most likely tug at our heartstrings. I could just see it now. It would be an episode where Ash and his Primeape are training, but they ended up training so hard and it looks like he's on death's door. Ash does everything he can and tells Primeape he can't fight anymore. But let's be honest, this hurts Primeape's feelings tremendously because fighting is all he knows. And while they're trying to get to a Pokemon Center to save him, they find themselves in a dire situation and all his Pokeballs are somewhere else because that's just what Ash does. He does stupid stuff like that, and now they're being threatened by a massive wild Pokemon, and that's when Primeape jumps in and saves Ash, only to pass out because he pushed just a bit too far. And as he passes out to cross over to the other side, that's when he gets a new Annihilate. I'm pretty much basing this off of the whole needing to use 20 Rage Fists in order to evolve. Plus, I totally see the Pokemon Company doing something like this. I mean, come on, you guys remember that Farewell Butterfree episode? I was bawling my little Xatu eyes out. Okay, what else? He definitely catches a regional Tauros, but only to send it back to Professor Oak for research. So I don't know if you actually want to count that. But if he does do it, what type do you think he catches? One of each, or maybe a specific type? Personally, I think he goes for the pure fighting type, to be honest, but I don't know. His next semi-powerhouse would be a Tinkatink. However, this is one of those Pokemon I don't think Ash ever fully evolves. Instead, maybe we'd get a Tinkatuff, but a full evolution? No way. That's not what Ash is about. Ash has to stay true to his ridiculous training methods that have made him a staple for many years, but I mean, they eventually worked for him, becoming champion intriguing and all. So I think he's onto something. Now for the next Pokemon on his team, it would have to be Palafin and its hero mode. This thing would probably be one of Ash's strongest Pokemon, but what I think would be way cooler is the imaginary interaction between this hero and Lokix, the Vigilante Complex. I think that would make for a great side bit here and there for the anime, if it were to continue with Ash, which it won't ever. Why am I even doing? Then we got Titan, the cutest Paldean Pokemon ever. I think this one would just be a fan favorite pick, to be honest. No other reason than that the fans would want to see Ash with it. And well, what the fans want, the fans get. Pokemon knows better. Listen, I don't make up the rules here.
Yes, you literally do.
And now for the best part of the what if team concept, why not give our boy a Paradox Pokemon? Only one though, maybe not permanently, but at least for some time. Out of all the Paradox Pokemon I think he would have, I think Great Tusk makes the best choice. It's not too crazy and it's something that looks like it could possibly be on Ash's team. Although I don't know how good of a teammate it would actually be. Probably gives him the whole Charizard treatment from season 1 with never listening. But what do you guys think? I just can't see Ash with a future Paradox Pokemon, but I'm open to the idea. And lastly, you know Ash always gets a starter, so which starter Pokemon would Ash have on his team? And well, that's kind of simple. It's got to be Sprigatito. Why, you ask? Well, because the new protagonist that took Ash's place has a Sprigatito, and if she didn't do that, then Ash would still be the protagonist and he would have a Sprigatito. But he doesn't, because none of this is real, but if it were, that would be his team. Okay, awesome. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Thanks for watching. Check out this video next and see you soon. Bye.